powerful engine, superior equipment. But when it comes to a real showdown, it all depends on the hands behind the wheel. Who do you think will come out on top? Now let's compare the MTZ-82 with the MTZ-82.1. No difference in speed, no clear advantage. Therefore, this is a test of skill between two riders, where just one right decision at the right time can make all the difference. Have you ever seen a New Holland completely block the road? I thought it was doomed. Guess what happened? Comment below before watching further, because the ending will truly surprise you. Watch this tree slap the driver hard in the face as he tries to uproot it from the ground with his tractor. The operation to rescue the truck carrying materials seemed to be going smoothly until suddenly another problem arose. Oh no, this is what happens when you take a corner too fast with a trailer loaded with large packages. Simply amazing. Just press the accelerator and the Ursus C360 shows why it has earned the trust of so many people over the years. If it were you, would you trust this machine with all the heavy lifting? Unbelievable, wow. The Schluter 950 volt, a mechanical monster, delivers ultimate excitement. Okay. Here's some helpful advice. Braking too quickly or unevenly will waste all your torque, and that's the bottom line. He seems to be playing some kind of pointless game. What's the point of accelerating forward and then reversing? Now, let's predict who will win this dramatic showdown. Do you think it will be Fiat 60 to 56 Turkiye or Massey Ferguson 265? did his best to hold the engine steady and prevent it from moving. Do you want to know what happens when a car crashes into a tractor at 75 kilometers per hour? This isn't just a crash test. It's research aimed at improving safety and minimizing human injury. Do you think experiments like these are worth the investment? Subscribe to the channel to discover more interesting technologies. Oh, it's sinking so deep. What is he going to do with this machine? The slippery snow surface has created a major challenge. This is truly a tractor with personality. The TE4K14 may be small, but don't let size fool you. It's a powerful machine. Witness the moment Bomag's largest waste compactor completely destroyed 2 cars in just seconds. Tell me, what are you going to do now? This monster was born to conquer terrain like this. It's truly a breakthrough. Forestry has never been an easy job. Mud, melting snow, and trucks carrying tens of tons of timber make each journey a real challenge for both the machinery and the operators. A breathtaking rescue operation in the deep lake. New Holland TD 110 and Bashak's 175 were trapped underwater. Amidst the intense pressure, the rescue team coordinated precisely, using specialized equipment to bring each heavy machine back to land. Power always comes with pressure. While hauling massive logs across difficult terrain, the Fend had to operate under a very heavy load. Unsurprisingly, the engine began to show signs of overload. Overconfidence sometimes comes at a price. The Ural 6x6 sank so deeply into the mud that even a Belarus 1221 couldn't pull it free. A powerful reminder that even the strongest machines have their limits when facing deep mud. All eyes are on the recovery cable stretched to its limit. Every move of the excavator must be carefully calculated as the tanker truck, stranded on the edge of a steep embankment, waits to be pulled to safety. The pressure is obvious just from watching. The T-35 bulldozer is slowly climbing onto the transport trailer as everyone watches its every move. With tens of tons of steel on a narrow ramp, even the slightest mistake could lead to a serious accident. Have you ever seen frozen ground still sink like this? What do you think would help the MTZ-82 get free faster? Should they use chains or reduce the straw load from the start? The load behind is simply too heavy. The front of the tractor lifts off the ground as it climbs the hill. Even so, the machine keeps moving forward, using every ounce of traction to pull the load through the challenging forest road. A trailer is stranded in deep mud. Just minutes later, several tractors arrive to assist with the recovery. Thanks to the coordinated effort of the machines, the trailer is finally pulled back onto solid ground. Stuck in the middle of the field, the John Deere combine harvester had sunk into soft ground and was unable to free itself. A powerful John Deere tractor was immediately dispatched to assist, beginning a tense rescue operation. This is a job where mistakes are no excuse. Amidst the damp forest and deep mud trenches, the Valmet 840.3 must carry a heavy load on slippery ground. Every maneuver demonstrates the experience and skill of the operator. The mud was getting deeper and deeper. The Swaraj 744 struggled with its heavy load while trying to tow the John Deere 5050D stuck in the field. After many attempts and considerable stress, the rescue was finally successful, much to everyone's joy. A single wheel broke, but that was enough to put the entire wheat convoy in a difficult situation. Several tractors were mobilized simultaneously, to move the heavy trailer over the treacherous terrain.
Hop! Ola çok geliyor ya.
These watermelons couldn't be left behind. When the truck got stuck in the mud and lost its ability to move on its own, two tractors worked together to pull it out, creating a battle between traction, load, and challenging terrain. There is no room for error. In the damp, muddy forest, the Belarus MTZ 1025 struggles to pull its payload. Just one wheel losing traction could leave the entire machine stuck in the mud and snow. Things went awry. The John Deere 1110D was stuck deep in wet peat and was no longer able to free itself. The rescue operation required the deployment of both JCB JS 160 and Belarus 820 excavators, turning a normal workday into a costly and time-consuming, fuel-intensive ordeal. This was no longer an ordinary mud puddle. The MTZ-82 was severely stuck in a thick black mud, where each turn of the wheels only made it sink deeper. Now, all hope rested on the rescue MTZ-1025. Traction alone wasn't enough. When the John Deere got stuck in thick mud, the operator had to use mooring posts as anchors to generate additional traction, gradually guiding the machine out of the muddy trap. This is a job where mistakes are no excuse. Amidst the damp forest and deep mud trenches, the Valmet 840.3 must carry a heavy load on slippery ground. Every maneuver demonstrates the experience and skill of the operator. The mud was getting deeper and deeper. The Swaraj 744 struggled with its heavy load while trying to tow the John Deere 5050D stuck in the field. After many attempts and considerable stress, the rescue was finally successful, much to everyone's joy. The true power of the K700 shines in the toughest jobs. With its massive pulling force and exceptional traction, this machine can rip large tree stumps straight out of the ground, making land clearing and site preparation faster, easier, and far more efficient. The mud turned the road into a real challenge. Despite towing a heavily loaded trailer and constantly fighting for traction, the John Deere 7720 kept pushing forward. The power and determination of this machine are truly impressive. The flaw lay in the trailer's design, causing the axles to collide when the load changed. The Weimer system, with its squirrel cage mechanism and advanced BB5 hydraulic assemblies, was created to overcome this very problem. But amidst the thick, viscous mud, all calculations proved futile. The machine was now trapped in a giant mud pit, and the battle to escape had only just begun. Mud swallows the trail. The Cat 525 pushes through a flooded forest road under extremely challenging conditions. Its wheels churn through deep mud while the front grapple stands ready to handle freshly harvested logs. Every yard traveled is a battle between heavy loads, muddy terrain, and the pulling power of this forestry workhorse. The load behind is simply too heavy. The front of the tractor lifts off the ground as it climbs the hill. Even so, the machine keeps moving forward, using every ounce of traction to pull the load through the challenging forest road. Prolonged heavy rains have turned many cornfields into vast mud pits. Despite the extremely challenging harvest conditions, the Claas Jaguar 870 Greeneye continues cutting and chopping corn, while the Claas Xerion 3300 Track VC and New Holland T 7070 Blue Power haul the crop out of the field. Every load becomes a test of traction against the ever-deepening mud. The heavy load in rough terrain caused the front of the machine to lift off the ground, but the job doesn't slow down. After just a few minutes of repositioning and adjusting the pull, the heavy logs are successfully moved onto level ground. Heavy rains have turned the cornfield into a sea of mud. Even so, the Zandman contracting harvest team keeps the operation moving. The electric-powered DEDUA forage wagons continuously receive chopped corn from the forage harvester and haul it across the soft ground, where every yard traveled is a test of traction and machine performance. The 2021 wheat harvest in the Lesser Poland region was unexpectedly interrupted when a Claas Dominator 86 became stuck in the field. A Fend 720 Vario was brought in to assist with the recovery operation. The tow cable was stretched to its limit, and after just a few minutes of coordinated effort, the combine slowly began moving again, pulling free from the soft ground. Deep mud, the timeless enemy of every operator, and today is no exception. The New Holland T7000, 270 inches forward, one small step at a time. Just a few inches off. The consequences can be massive. The Deutz DX120 is slowly climbing onto the trailer while the operator constantly adjusts the steering to keep the entire setup balanced and under control. Log after log slides across the muddy forest floor. The LKT-80 Turbo works continuously under heavy loads, hauling massive timber through steep terrain, deep mud, and challenging logging trails. The T150K's engine is working at full load. The cable stretches tight as the tractor fights to rip out a tree stump that has been anchored deep in the ground for years. A battle of force between tons of steel and a root system buried deep beneath the soil. Traction is almost gone. The K701 and MTZ82 are called in to recover a machine stranded in the middle of the field. Meter by meter, the multi-ton machine begins to move, slowly breaking free from the mud trap. Traction has its limits. Teamwork makes the difference. When the tractor became trapped in deep mud, several people stepped in to help with the recovery. It was that combined effort that finally got the machine back to work. The wheels keep spinning in the soft mud. A fully loaded tractor and grain cart struggle to regain traction on the soft post-harvest field. Every yard forward is a battle between weight and traction. The tractor performs impressively on rough terrain, optimizing the mining process. Its robust design and advanced technology ensure high, stable performance when moving across challenging hilly areas. Would you like to own and operate such large agricultural machines? Comment below. A John Deere X9 1100, a Nexat with a Nexco Combine Harvester Module, and two Claas Lexion 8900S are working simultaneously in a vast field. The 43 feet, 13 mm, wide flex draper harvesters continuously devour rows of plants, while the Nexat uses a nearly 49 feet, 15 mm, wide harvester to further increase productivity. Tons of rapeseed are collected in a single run, shortening harvesting time and reducing losses in the field. The high-speed rotating blades plunge straight into the rows of trees. In just seconds, the old coffee trees are cut down, paving the way for replanting and upgrading the plantation in subsequent production seasons. The terrain is challenging, but everything runs smoothly. The Ursus C330 and its experienced operators put on an impressive display, proving that skill, teamwork, and coordination are just as important as the machine's power. This is exactly the definition of a bad situation.
Oh, shit! Oh, Jesus! Jesus! Oh, Jesus! Jesus! Oh, Lord Jesus! Lord Jesus! That was awesome right there! God damn! Wow!
Without traction, strength becomes meaningless. On slippery snow, skid tracks are sometimes the deciding factor between moving forward or getting stuck. Anyone can have an opinion, but not everyone can build and operate the machines that transform an entire industry. The engine isn't the problem. The problem lies in how the situation is handled. The more you accelerate, the deeper the car digs into its own hole. Fire broke out right in the middle of the mining area. The spontaneously combusting coal still had to be unloaded and transported urgently to avoid affecting the entire storage area. Just one moment of imbalance caused the entire structure to tilt, creating a memorable lesson in load distribution. This was no longer a field, but a sea of mud. The T-150 had to fight for every meter to pull its payload across the muddy terrain. Steep slope, heavy load, immense pressure. But thanks to skill and experience, the driver safely brought the vehicle down the mountain. The fault doesn't always lie with the machinery. This time, a misstep caused the container lifting and lowering process to end in failure. Adding more throttle isn't always the solution. When facing mud, using the correct differential lock and tire pressure is often more important than engine power. For those who aren't afraid of mud, the tractor plunged straight into the muddy stream, turning the ride into an impressive display of off-road capability. Strength cannot replace experience. The T-150 was ready for work, but the success of the towing operation depended heavily on how the operator handled the situation. The incredible power of the SK210D. With just a few precise maneuvers, the demolition machine crushed the car quickly and efficiently. The conditions are truly brutal. The muddy field turns every yard into a challenge, but the work must go on despite the thick mud clinging to the wheels. Even legends sometimes face difficulties. The K700 is struggling in deep water, where power alone is not enough to win. Lost steering, lost control, and the belays went off the bridge. A rare but extremely dangerous incident for this massive mining machine. Black smoke billowed up, the engine roared. But the mud wouldn't budge.
It just fell through. Just sitting on the frame.
In a matter of moments, the massive agricultural machine was stuck in the middle of the field, initiating a tense rescue operation.
Come on, girl, go! Woo! Oh, yeah. Oh, praise Jesus. That was stuck.
The driver demonstrated remarkable driving skills as he navigated the challenging muddy section of the road. Every maneuver was precise, calm, and full of experience. Deep snow, slip, icy slopes, huge loads. But the TT4 persevered, dragging heavy logs behind it. Every meter gained was a testament to the enduring strength of this legendary forestry machine. black smoke billowed up. The tow rope was taut, threatening to snap. This wasn't just a showdown between two machines, but a display of torque, durability, and driving prowess. The tow ropes were taut. The engines roared in unison. Both MTZs simultaneously exerted their power, beginning a battle against the enormous weight of the Volvo stuck in front. Steel power versus concrete. The Doosan 140 5K turns solid walls into rubble in a matter of moments. Comment #2 if you're impressed by this machine too. Everything was going normally, until that fateful moment. In just a few seconds, a familiar operation turned into a dangerous accident. The mud had trapped both vehicles, but the leading skidder refused to give up. With its roaring engine, it slowly pulled its teammate and the Chevy 4X4 out of the deep mud trap in an impressive display of towing power. If you enjoy breathtaking rescues like this, don't forget to hit like. Sometimes the problem isn't with the vehicle. The Kamaz still has enough pulling power, but the operator's experience is the deciding factor in getting out of the mud. The mud refused to let go. The MTZ-82 tilted precariously as it towed the stuck Kamaz, creating a tense standoff between its mechanical power and the harsh terrain. This is where experience makes the difference. The Camox F-175 had to navigate treacherous slopes and challenging terrain, where only skilled operators could safely control the machine. Everything was going normally until the load got out of control. The snow and mud had trapped the KAMAZ vehicle, but the rescue KAMAZ didn't give up. Mud lurched beneath the wheels, tons of wood piled up behind. But the Valtra persevered, inching forward meter by meter, creating an impressive display of mechanical power and driving skill amidst the spring forest. And a moment of loss of control. The excavator overturned in the middle of the construction site, initiating a challenging rescue operation involving heavy machinery. There is no room for error in this icy landscape. Every meter of the Naryan-Maryu-Sinsk route is a challenge for the convoy of oversized trucks. Amidst the white snow and slippery road surface, the power of the machinery and the skill of the drivers are tested to their limits. This is the real test for the tractor. Amidst the mud and deep ruts, the MTZ persevered, proving why it is always highly regarded for its durability and field capabilities. In an instant, the wheel of the CLAAS Lection 760 suffered a serious malfunction, sending dust and straw flying everywhere. Tons of timber in the back. The AS950 slowly traversed the difficult terrain, bearing the mark of a generation of machinery tempered by years of hard work. Every minute counts. Every component contributes to the profit. With the Vehicle Recycling System, VRS, vehicle dismantling becomes faster and more precise than ever before, ushering in a new era for modern recycling. The mud had turned the forest road into a veritable trap, The BMC Pro 827, loaded with timber, quickly became stuck under the weight of its load. When the wheels lost traction, the AS-950 was called in for a tense rescue operation through the muddy forest. Power and precision in a single moment. The giant crane effortlessly lifts trucks weighing tens of tons from the mothership into the dock, showcasing the pinnacle of modern lifting technology. Deep within the damp and muddy forest, the Belarus MTZ 1025 roars across the harsh terrain. Its powerful engine and agile drivetrain allow this tractor to overcome deep mud, tree roots, and slippery slopes with unwavering resilience, demonstrating its formidable strength. The surface looked safe, but the reality was quite different. In just seconds, the Zirion's front axle sank deep into the soft ground. Towing attempt after tow failed, and the rescue quickly turned into a full-blown battle between machinery and mud. The real challenge was just beginning. On a muddy field, two Kirovets 701 and T150 trucks were transporting fertilizer. The Kirovet 701, with its 300 horsepower engine, suddenly got stuck, roaring violently in its attempt to escape the deep mud.
даже без тележки не может выехать.
What do you think the problem is here?
Вот она пол, вот она пол! Вот она пол, эй!
It was a ridiculous situation. This is performance on a large scale. The Case IH9230 with its 3 5-foot cutter continuously devours the golden rice stalks, while the truck next to it follows closely to collect the produce right in the field. Upton MT 855, the giant of Australian agriculture. Powered by a 290 horsepower Cummins engine, it's built to tow enormous loads that many other tractors can't handle. Just one small mistake could send everything spiraling out of control. Yet the 1510G calmly descended the slippery slope, carrying a massive load of timber behind it. A spectacular display of technology, power, and operational expertise. A slight misalignment, and everything went off track. A single hasty decision turned a routine lifting operation into a crane accident. A small spark quickly transformed the trailer truck into a massive fireball. There are machines built to work, and there are machines that become legends. The GAZ 66 belongs to the second group, its durability, power, and off-road capability earning its special respect from many veteran drivers. Oh no. It seems this tractor has chosen to cool down in the most unexpected way. The powerful engine from the Mercedes truck is combined with the front axle of the T150K tractor, along with the durable rear axle and tires from the K701 tractor. This perfect combination creates a versatile, durable, and superior machine capable of handling any terrain.